Okay, welcome to today's new features webinar for October 2024. I'm so excited to show you all the new and much anticipated features that were released this past month. I'm Erica Young, and I'm on the customer experience team here at monday.com. I'd like to introduce my colleagues, Jenny and Cheney, who will be supporting today's webinar and answering your questions in real time. Thank you, Jenny and Cheney, for assisting me today. Welcome to the Monday Mansion, our new experience for watching our monthly new features webinars. The Monday Mansion is monday.com's answer to providing a new way for companies around the world to host and engage with their audience in online events. I hope you and your llama have had a bit of time to roam around the room and explore the different booths and galleries that contain content related to today's webinar. If you have not yet explored, you can do so during or after my presentation. We'd love to hear what you think of the webinar today and the experience in the mansion. Feel free to share your thoughts during or after the webinar by clicking on the feedback booth or through the CSAT form, which we will send out to you in the next few days. If you need to step away during the webinar, no worries at all. This session will be recorded for everyone to watch again and will be available on the Monday Academy next week. Today's session will consist of two parts. First, we'll take a look at our new features in action, and then we'll transition into a live Q&A to dive deeper into your questions. If you have any questions about anything I present today, please write to us in the Q&A channel. That's where Cheney and Jenny will be assisting. You can reach this by clicking on the chat icon in the bottom left corner of the Mansion screen. You will then see three channels available. One is called Room Chat, which is where you can chat with other guests in a public environment. Another channel is for technical support, where you can let us know if you're having any technical difficulties with the Monday Mansion. Lastly, you'll see the Q&A channel, which is where you should ask questions specifically about what I will present today. Cheney, Jenny, and I will do our best to get to as many of your questions as we can, either through the chat or live in the second part of the webinar. That said, there are a lot of us in attendance today, so if we don't get to your specific question, feel free to check out our user community at community.monday.com. It's possible someone else has already asked your question there. Or of course, reach out to the support team via live chat. Before we dive in, I'll share a quick overview of our agenda. We have some really exciting releases to cover today. We have several new account features, a new work form feature, and several new Monday AI features. We've also got a small but mighty Workdocs feature, Monday workflows, new features for our enterprise customers only, and a few new features for our Canvas product. And last but not least, the app of the month. Now let's see these features in action on the monday.com platform. Jumping right in, we have a new and exciting update to our favorites feature. Previously, our favorites feature was placed within the Workspaces drop-down menu. Now, the feature is placed above the Workspaces drop-down menu with its own expandable section. This new update elevates the feature's visibility and usability while emphasizing its cross-product functionality. For those unfamiliar with this feature, you can save your boards, dashboards, and work docs to your favorites by looking for the item in your workspace, clicking on the three-dot menu, and selecting Add to Favorites. Another way you can add a board to your favorites is by navigating to the board, clicking on the drop-down arrow next to your board name, and selecting the star. When we head back over to our favorite section and hit the expand, We can see the board listed there now. As you can see, I'm currently on our work management product. When I click on this board here, I am automatically brought to our CRM product where the board lives. When I access another board saved to my favorites, it brings me right back to our workspace, our work management product. This feature has been fully released to all accounts, so everyone can experience how easy it is to access their important boards, dashboards, and Workdocs across different products. Our next feature is an update to the look and feel of our notification settings and bell notifications. We've improved the experience of setting up your notification preferences within your profile under notifications. This is following feedback that it wasn't so straightforward in its previous form. If I head over to my profile icon, click My Profile, and select the Notifications tab, you can see that now we have revamped the notification settings, allowing you to fine-tune your notifications within Monday via email and Slack. Moving on to the bell notifications themselves. Let's look at the improvements we've made there. Until now, our bell notifications section showed large avatar photos, an unread tab, and an option to filter by person. Plus, there was also no way to tell which products the notifications came from. Now, we have updated the pane to display smaller avatar photos to use the space saved to show more information about the notifications you have received. We also added the product details. So if you are working for multiple Monday products, you can clearly see which product the notification was sent from. Finally, we removed the filter by person function and instead added a toggle feature so you can easily switch between your read and unread notifications. Now that we've explored our account feature updates, let's check out what's new with our Workforms. In case you're not familiar with Monday Workforms, this building block allows you to create and utilize custom forms for data collection, tracking, analysis, while seamlessly syncing your monday.com boards and workflows. Each form submission generates a new item on the board, complete with all relevant details. Workforms are intended to provide an easy and efficient way to create forms for various uses, such as surveys, school outings, and customer questionnaires. Previously, form builders lacked the ability to configure the order that answer options would be displayed for multi and single select questions. Having the ability to choose whether answers are shown in a randomized, alphabetized, or custom order is crucial for surveys or request forms with extensive list options. As a solution to this limitation, our Workforms team added these options to the question settings, so Workform builders can now choose how they want to arrange the order of options for multi and single select questions according to their preferences. Users can now order options for select questions randomly, alphabetically, or in a custom order. Now, this brings me to our sweet treats form. Here in the New York office, we love a sweet treat at the end of a busy work week. In this use case, I have a board where team members can fill out the form with their favorite coffee orders. Members can share their preferred drink, their drink type, and their preferred milk option. To me, the best part of coffee is the add-ons. So I added a drop-down column with several add-on features, or options, I should say. Now I'm going to head to the form to check out those options. By scrolling down to the drop-down column and clicking on question settings, here is where we can see the new order options. I can have these add-ons displayed alphabetically, randomized, or custom. Since we can see that they're already in a random order, I'm going to choose to have them be alphabetized. And right away, we can see the change has been made. So satisfying. On a different note, we have several new additions to our Monday AI feature. For those who have not yet discovered this, Monday AI incorporates artificial intelligence technology into the monday.com platform, with AI tools developed internally by the monday.com team. When you first engage with Monday AI, you will need to request approval from your account admin if it hasn't been previously approved. Account admins will receive an email and must agree to Monday AI terms and conditions. This process is slightly different for enterprise users, so if you have any questions about that, feel free to ask in the Q&A. Now let's get into the exciting new Monday AI features introduced this month. We've joined the power of Monday AI with some of our most popular columns to allow you to apply Monday AI automatically to your board. So the first addition is an update to our column side panel. Configuring AI blocks is a critical experience. This is where you determine the rules which should be applied for the AI functionality you are adding to your board. Previously, our block configuration occurred within a dedicated pop-up modal that had several limitations, such as obscuring board content, restricting scrolling, and providing limited space for additional features. In this update, we are transitioning to a flexible side panel. So I'm just going to click on this three-dot menu here and click on autofill to show you. This flexible side panel allows you to view the board during the configuration and scroll freely. This will pave the way for more advanced features in the near future. Our second Monday AI feature involves one of our most frequently used columns on Monday, the Files column. Until now, AI actions did not support files as input, preventing customers from performing essential AI tasks like summarizing, generating text, or extracting information from these files. We've updated this by allowing files to be used as an input for AI features. Initially, we will support only PDF files, and these will be limited to text-based PDFs. So please note that image-based PDFs will not be supported. We also plan to add support for Monday Docs in the near future, so stay tuned. Now, my entire team knows how much I love astrology, so for this example, I will extract Cheney and Jenny's zodiac sign information from a PDF file. As you can see, I have this board here with a files column containing my PDF file, and a few text columns dedicated to the zodiac team's signs and my team's birth chart. I'm going to open up our AI panel so I can extract information from the file and autofill it onto the board. For my first AI action, I'm going to select the option to extract information. From the info source, I'm going to choose Files. Here, you can see that we have several pre-made options for the information that we'd like to extract from the file. Since none of these are specific to the information I need, I'm going to scroll down and choose Custom Information, where I will then type in what I'm looking to extract. We have a handy preview section over here that allows us to confirm that the information we'd like to extract is correct. Once we hit Save and Apply, that information will autofill to the relevant column. Our third addition is related to the Categorize feature, which is one of our most popular and AI features. It enables you to classify free text into labels within status columns. Previously, the creation of these labels was not integrated into the configuration process. Users of this feature were not clearly informed about the need to configure labels separately. This meant that sometimes when using a new status label within the Categorize AI feature, labels would default to the predefined labels and would not make sense and users didn't know if they needed to configure the labels outside of the modal. To remedy this, we included our label configuration in the AI categorized setup process, allowing you to edit labels directly from the AI categorized modal. So how would this work for this use case? Let's take a look together. Now that we have the team's sun sign information on the board, I think it will be helpful to see the corresponding months as well. To start, I'm going to click on the Add Column button, and I'm going to look for our Assign Labels option. Once selected, I'm going to choose to have my labels align with the sun sign column. Now I'm going to edit my labels according to the sun signs on the board. Here in the preview section, I can now see how this would look for each team member. After locking those labels in, I'm going to hit save and watch this in action. Amazing, right? This brings us to our final AI feature. Previously, there was no way to see how your new AI column configurations applied to the items on your board. To enhance the user experience and provide immediate value, we've added a feature that allows you to automatically apply AI to the first 100 items on the board right after configuration. Let's take a look at how this will work for the 10 team members I have listed on my extended board. Since we already have their sun signs recorded on the board, I'd like to go ahead and extract their moon signs from a file. I'm going to add another text column and label it moon signs. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up that autofill with AI panel. I'm going to go ahead and fill out the same information with extracting from the file. Enter the custom information, this time entering moon sign. So while configuring this AI column, you will see this option here at the bottom of the panel. Checking this box will allow the AI action to be applied to up to 100 empty existing items. I'm going to keep it checked and hit save and apply it. And there we have it. All of my team members' sun and moon signs are auto-filled onto the board. Honestly, the Monday AI features are my favorite, so I know this will be a game changer for you all. Next, let's turn our attention to our small but mighty improvement to our Workdocs. Before we do that, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and navigate right on over to that board. Okay. For those of you who have not yet used our Workdocs feature, it is an easy and flexible way for your team to record ideas and notes about a centralized topic. We received feedback from users wanting to share the URL of a particular Workdoc in their account, particularly those using the desktop app where the URL is not shown. With the simple addition of the copy link button here, users can now easily obtain the Workdoc link, making the process of sharing with teammates more intuitive and user-friendly. It's that simple. Okay. Now, moving along in our agenda, we're excited to debut 2 new blocks that will take the Monday Workflows feature to the next level. I'm going to navigate back over to that board to show you this. Before we dive in, I'd like to give you all a quick refresher on Workflows, which is a relatively new feature for our enterprise customers. Our Workflows feature is an easy visual way to automate workflows across your account. With this feature, Enterprise users can utilize automations and integrations to streamline routine processes across multiple boards in a workspace, enhancing their efficiency and productivity. Each workflow is built up of blocks, which contain triggers, conditions, and actions. Here, I have a basic board setup. Let's say I want to move the items I am assigned to a new group when they are marked done. I can create a workflow with a trigger block based on the done status. Let's head over here. So we're going to start with our trigger block, which is based on the status column and the done status label. And we're going to add a condition where based on the person assigned, along with select actions, depending on whether or not that person is assigned. Yes and no. Now, if we head back to the board, we can see that I am assigned to item 2 here. When I mark this item as done, the item will be moved to the next group. To demonstrate our new workflow blocks, we'll be looking at a use case for my colleague Cheney, who loves to read and has organized a book club where she can share her recommendations for books with her team according to their preferences. Cheney uses 2 boards to organize her book club. One book board here contains a list of recommended books, including the book authors and genres. Her second board lists the members of her club, the date that they joined, and also tracks the status of their completion, while allowing a space for her team to share their genre preferences. Cheney prides herself on her collection and would love to set up a workflow that updates her teams with book recommendations from her recommendations board, depending on their favorite genre, recorded here. To achieve her goal, Cheney can utilize the first of our new workflow blocks, the Find Matching Item block. This block allows you to find any item in any board that matches a specified column value, so it can either perform an action on it or use its data in an action. To achieve what Cheney is looking for, we built this workflow. We'll start with the trigger, when column changes, as she wants to send recommendations based on her teammates' preferences, which are shown in the status column. So I'm going to select the book member board and the status column, which is favorite genre. For this example, let's go with the romance genre. Because the workflow builder is more technical than our regular automations, we need to be really specific about how we configure our workflow. This get item data block, action block will allow us to retrieve information from the column we selected in our trigger block. Once this block is added to the workflow, these fields automatically pull information from the previous block. From here, I'm going to add an action block and select the Find Matching Item option. When configuring this block, I'm going to first select the book list board, followed by the genre. And then for this value field, we want to program the platform to find the specific item. So we're going to select the Get Item Data from the drop-down menu and choose the column with information we are looking to see, which in this case is the favorite genre column that her members are entering on the members board. Now we're going to add another Get Item action block, which will pull the information from our previous block, followed by the final piece of our workflow, a Create Updates action block. Before we decide on what update we will include, we're going to select the board where we want the update to appear. And in this case, it's her book members board. Finally, we're going to select the Get Item data option again, and choose information from the specific column. I'm going to customize it with, or customize the update with you may like in the beginning, and then we are all set. Now let's see this in action. If Emily's favorite genre of books is romance, and she updates the genre status to reflect this, we can see that it was completed, and now she will receive an update recommending a book from Cheney's list that falls in that romance genre. The second new block is our Find Connected item block. As you can see here, we have a connected board column set up on Cheney's book list and book members boards. These columns allow Cheney to track which team members listed on the members board are reading each of the books on the list board. Let's say Cheney wants to be updated on where her team is in their reading journey. The book club members can update the status of their reading journey on the members board. However, Cheney would like to be updated on the board where her books are listed. Let's set up a workflow that achieves her goal. To demonstrate this new block, I'm going to create another workflow and choose the status change as my trigger block. Then I'm going to specify the book member board, the status of her column, and the label that represents where her team is in their journey. For this example, let's go with the done status. From here, we're going to add another supportive get data block, which will automatically pull the information from the previous block. For the next step, I'm going to add the Find Connected Item action block. Once this is selected, the board and item details automatically populate from the previous action block. All that's left for me to do now is choose the Connected Boards column and the board that is connected to that column. From here, we'll add another Get Item Data action block, followed by our Create Update action block. Since the board and item information automatically populates, we will ensure that the update reflects the Get Item Data from the status column, which will be step 2 on the members board. Finally, we're going to customize the updates by adding book status in the beginning, and then we're ready to go. Now let's say Mike has completed his book and is ready to update his reading journey status to done. We can see the workflow's running and is now completed. When we head back over to the book list board, we can see that an update was created on Holly by Stephen King, letting Cheney know that Mike has finished reading the book. And there you have it. These new blocks will retrieve a single item, allowing you to perform various actions on it, such as changing its status, creating an update, and more. We're super excited to share these new features because they represent a significant milestone in cross-board workflows, enabling you to locate, utilize, or update any item in any board based on a column value or connections. Now that we've explored workflows, let's head over to our Canvas product so I can introduce you to a few new features there. Before we discuss those features, I'd like to give you a quick overview of WorkCanvas. WorkCanvas is one of monday.com's most recently released products. It is a versatile whiteboard that allows you to lean into your creative side without compromising productivity. Whether working individually or as a team, you can create multiple canvases for designing flowcharts, building mind maps, or producing visuals for tasks. You can either start from scratch or utilize many of our pre-made templates to suit your needs. To open a blank canvas, you will select New Canvas and then create New Canvas on the home page. And to start off with our template, you'll head over to this left panel over here, select Template Library, and see a variety of options. Our template library gives you the ability to preview potential template options before installing them. Here we have templates for employee onboarding flows, for project planning, and running workshops and more. Now let's get into some new features. Our first Work Canvas feature is a new addition to our handy shortcuts, allowing you to save time when building your canvas from scratch. Now you can quickly duplicate items on your canvas by using a keyboard shortcut. For MacBook users, the shortcut will be Command D. For PC users, it will be Control D. I'm using a MacBook, so I'll select this item here, hold down the Command and D keys down, and then duplicate it. It's that simple. For this next feature, we've added the ability to filter elements by label when using our Smart Org template. Just to explain a bit more about what this template allows you to achieve, this template pulls data from a synced monday.com board to auto-populate a visual org chart template on Canvas. I'm going to stop sharing so that way I can show you the pet care board that I have set up. In this use case, my colleague Jenny runs a chain of pet daycares and uses Monday to track her employees. On her monday.com board, she has a list of her employees, their positions, their managers, their site details, and more. On a side note, there are certain mandatory fields that must be included in your board in order to set up the Smart Org chart. Employee name represents the title for the individuals on the org chart. Direct manager represents the person to whom the employee reports to. And position describes the position or role of the employee. Now I'm going to navigate back to our canvas so I can show you the new feature. Before we dive into the new filter feature, I'm going to start by adding our Smart Org Chart template to the canvas. From here, I'm prompted to select the board I'd like to use. After I select my board, we can see that the fields have already been mapped to the relevant column information from the Monday board. I'm going to choose the person I want to appear at the top of my org chart. And now the template is up and running. Please note that the Smart Org chart does not contain a two-way sync with your monday.com board, and therefore the information in the chart cannot be edited within Work Canvas. To edit information, you must make changes directly on your monday.com board. So here I have my org chart with Jenny, Cheney, and myself. Sometimes when the org chart becomes really large, you might want to filter to only see specific entries based on the specific criteria. Now we have added this ability. So now that our chart is set up, we're ready to see this feature in action. Let's say Jenny wants to filter this chart by the site her employees are working at. I'm going to simply hover over this pencil icon. And after this window will appear, allowing me to select which column value I would like to filter the chart by. In this case, we're filtering by site. So I'm going to go ahead and collect site. And let's say we want to do the New York site. Once filtered, the profile cards that are not included in your filter will be grayed out, and those relevant will remain in color. Our final Canvas feature gives you the ability to color items in your Canvas according to their status in the status column of your Monday board. Following the same use case, Jenny would now like to color her items by animal type, or by the animal type, excuse me, that her employees will be working with. After integrating the board with Canvas and selecting the items associated with her employees, I'm going to highlight the items. Right away, I can see this color icon on the frame toolbar. Once I click on it, I have the option of coloring by selecting any of these listed here. I also have the option to color by label. Since Jenny wants to color by the animal type, I'm going to select this one. Now we can clearly see which employees are working with dogs and which are working with cats. And finally, I'd like to introduce our app of the month, Templify. If we head back over here to our Monday board, for those who may not know, our apps marketplace right here offers a diverse selection of apps to enhance the functionality of monday.com. These apps are created by relatable, embedded third-party developers, as well as our own Monday team. Here, I can search for Templify and add the app to all of my account's workspaces. Only admins can add apps. However, members can request an app addition from an admin who will then receive a notification about the request. The Templify app helps you to easily convert any group, item, or sub-item into a reusable template. With just a few clicks, you can apply these templates to any board, ensuring your workflows are set up consistently and swiftly. I'm going to navigate back to our slides. So that way I can show you a quick 40-second video that shows us the app in action.
So to create a template or sub-item template, there's multiple ways to do this. We can either do it through the item menu by selecting those sub-items, clicking on apps and choosing Templify. We could also do it from the main item by clicking apps and Templify. And the final way we could do this is through the Templify item view. So I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to click on create new templates. As you can see, we have a bunch of options here. We can either turn this entire group and all its items and sub-items into a template, the group with its items only, so excluding the sub-items, the current item with all its sub-items, just the current item, or only the current item sub-items. In this case, I just want to create a sub-item template, so I'm going to select the current item sub-items. After a few seconds, we should see these sub-items now in the template editor mode. As you can see, all these sub-items have been brought through. At this point, we can also add additional tasks or sub-items. We can also delete items. We can move the order around of these items, and we can also edit column values directly from this template edit mode. Now, first thing I want to do is add dynamic dates, because what good is a template if the dates are going to be static, right? That's not going to help me in the future. So if I click on the pencil icon over here on the first sub-item dates value, we can either select another static dates over here, or more useful, we can create a dynamic dates. So here we can enter how many days, weeks, or months before or after either the creation date, which would be the date that we apply this template, or for sub-item templates, we can also make these dates dependent on one of the parent items timeline columns or dates columns. So I'm going to use the parent items timeline end. We're going to make the first task due, let's say, 2 weeks before the parent items timeline end. We'll do the second task let's say 10 days before the timeline end. Third one, I'll do maybe 1 week before the timeline end. And the last one, let's make it 3 days before the timeline end. Okay, so now we have dynamic dates. We can also add dynamic people. So as I showed you before, on the main item, I've got a couple different people column. And so this first task, storyboard creation, I want the designer to do this. And filming and recording, we'll get the editor to do that. Editing and post-production, that will be the editor as well. And the final review and approval, let's leave that to the project manager. We can also add statuses at this point. We can update the dependencies or add new dependencies, but I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. Right, I'm just going to rename this to Romo video. I can either share this with everybody in the account, make it private to just myself, or share it with specific people. I'm going to make this template public to everybody on the account and click save. Okay, so now that it's saved, if we switch over to the sub-item template section over here, we can see promo video with 4 sub-items. We can also edit it again. We can duplicate it, we can delete it, or we can view it. Now, let me show you how I can apply.
So I'm going to stop it there. If you look up the app in our app marketplace, you will be able to see the full video there when reading the information about the app. And with that, we've made it to the end. Oop, let me go ahead and do this. As we conclude today's session, I'd like to take the time to thank you all again for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed learning about this month's new features. As I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, you will receive an email with a customer satisfaction survey within the next 3 business days. If you have a moment, your feedback for those webinars is greatly appreciated. Thank you once again, and I hope that you all have a great day.